party tonight. Yay.
Yes.
How is everybody?
We're great.
I'm doing good. You know, you guys, I had a crazy day. I mean, trying to get, I got me some Twizzlers for me to eat because it's been one of those days where my internet wasn't working. I'm just like, what is going on? But thank God, we're here.
We made it in time.
That's right. Right. Yes, y'all. Listen. Follow us on IG. Don't forget, tag, share. Go ahead and follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. Click that button, the thumb button. Listen, this is your girl Kawashika of the Can We Talk Sports, and we have
AKA I'm sorry, Carmen, AKA Mama D.
Hey, and it's Karen, that K Dog. I'm going back to high school days, y'all. I was the K Dog. What's up, you guys? What's going on?
Man, listen, it's
so excited.
Facebook. What happened to Facebook? Instagram.
I know. What?
That just tells us how we need to have another platform that we don't be so dependent on Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But you guys, we got to move on because I'm just so excited about this show. We have Miss Joy Taylor. She is the sister of Jason Taylor, and she has been one of the leading ladies out there that's been holding it down for us women, that is talking about sports. She has been on the Colvin Show. She has been on Skip and Shannon. She's been doing it all, and I'm so excited to bring her to the show.
Taylor, that's right. So Joy, you're buying Tom Brady's praise of his Patriots exit.
No, come on. Now, one thing we know about Tom Brady is he is excellent at quarterback speak. He did it for 20 years. That was a bunch of word salad. If everything was perfect there, why is he in Tampa Bay? Now, I don't have a problem with him not throwing extra, wood on the fire in this situation. He's coming back. It's going to be a very emotional night for everyone. I think he has a tremendous amount of respect for that organization, that city, the fans, the owner, and Bill Belichick. So I don't have a problem with him not telling us everything that happened. To be honest with you, I don't want the whole story. I don't want to hear all of the tea right now because the legacies are still being written for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. When they're both away from the game, spill all the tea. I want to know all the secrets, honey. But right now, they still have children to raise. They don't need to be dogging each other out in public. We got to dog each other out in public.
Oh my God, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I love your energy. This is so fun. And thank you so much for accommodating me as well, doing the show earlier. I really appreciate that.
We appreciate you, lady. We appreciate you coming on, taking the time to come and talk to us sports moms. We got something to say, girl.
Yes, I love it. I know my mother's a sports mom and she got plenty to say. That's why I tell her stay off the internet. Okay? Don't read any of the comments. It was a different time when Jason was playing. The social media was not the same. You just had to worry about the media. There's just the media. Now everybody got something to say. You're not gonna like it. So just I know, believe me.
But that's one of my questions I have for you, because you're coming from a sports family, and so you have your brother, and then you're in the corporate world of sports. How important do you think it is for parents to have a seat at the table when it comes to their kids in sports?
I think it's very important, especially if your family is. Your family's everything. And we know there's stories out there of, parents taking advantage of situations and, things turning ugly when it comes to money. We know how quickly that can go at any, with anything in life. But at the end of the day, you have to have the people closest to you involved. And who's going to give you better advice, than somebody who's seen every step of your journey up until this point. And, people change and situations change and money and location and kids and wives and all that stuff. But, I think family is, as we all know, when it hits the fan, who's going to be there? Mom's going to be driving to wherever you are.
Yes.
Make sure you have food on the table and, your laundry's done and you can focus on what you need to focus on. And, so I think family is incredibly important. And I do think that now, especially organizations and coaches are much more accommodating to families. The organizations, at least that I've been around, obviously, being in Miami, I can think of an organization like the Heat that is they're known for being super welcoming to families. They have a family room, a kids room. You can leave the kids and go watch the game, and they got food, and they just go over the top to make sure that people feel comfortable having their families around, because it's important. It's good for your mental health. It will help you play better knowing everything's taken care of. My mom doesn't have to worry about finding her way through the arena. It's little things like that go a long way for players. And it's the small things that lead to the big things like championships, and winning organizations know that. So I think it's very important.
Very good. So, Joy, we're so excited. I have to tell you, we're so excited to have you on the show tonight. Listen, tell us a little bit about your journey. Now, we know you started as a producer. When did you realize you'd rather be in front of the camera instead of behind it? I
always wanted to be on air, but in this business, you very often don't start in the on-air role. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're doing radio, you're likely to start as a producer, because radio, you have to talk nonstop. Television, if you're a reporter, in a small market, sometimes you can go, you'll have smaller packages to do. They might just throw you to the wolves, but you won't have 3 hours of content to fill. So being a producer in radio is generally how you're going to start. So I always wanted to be on air. I went to Barry University in Miami for broadcast journalism, and I started in the radio station there on air as obviously a student station. So, you're supposed to make mistakes and, learn how to do everything. That's what it's there for. But, everyone that I worked with along my journey knew that, my goal was always to be on air. But you have to start, you have to earn your way up. And I'm actually very grateful that I started as a producer, because it taught me how to do a good show, how to put together a good show, how to book guests, how to put together a rundown, how to do all the little things that, I still do now. I have my own show on Saturday, and I still do the rundown and write out questions and do all my prep and all those things that you learn as a young producer. So it was always my goal to be on air, but I had to earn my way up.
Now, did you play any sports growing up, or just because you was a sports family, that's how you just grew to love sports all the way across?
No, I played basketball and track the longest, probably since about 5th grade or younger for track. And then I played volleyball and soccer as well in high school. So I played volleyball, soccer, track, and volleyball in high school. So I was a big athlete, jock, always at the gym, working out. I was after school every day. I didn't get home late because I had a game or practice. And I loved sports. I won most athletic my senior year. I won homecoming queen too, but I was more concerned about most athletic. I was like, I could keep homecoming queen. I need to win this most athletic. Actually, yeah, my friend who won the men's most athletic lives out here with his wife, so we joke about it all the time. That was a long time ago, but yeah, I played sports. I ran track my freshman year of college at a Division II school in Pennsylvania, my first year, and I quickly realized that my competitive bug had kind of died, and it's a lot. It's a whole lot of work to be a college athlete, and it's a huge commitment, huge time and energy commitment, and you have to make a lot of sacrifices. And if you are on scholarship, then you learn that very quickly. So, but yeah, that's a little extra jab I can throw out there for some of the guys.
It's a full-time job.
It is.
Being an athlete and going to school.
A lot has changed now, obviously, with the NIL rules, and the NCAA has had to be a lot more flexible with college athletes. But you're right, Carmen; it's a full-time job, and you can't work another job or you lose your scholarship. So I'm glad that that's changed, because it is a lot for young athletes.
So you mentioned the rule change. How do you feel about it? About these kids being able to sell themselves and their image, and like, how do you feel about that?
I think it was inevitable with social media, that it was going to happen, whether, the NCAA or any of the rest of us were ready for it. Now, being that I was a college athlete and both my brothers were college athletes, so I very much understand what the process of being a college athlete, the money that you're allowed to make, the rules that you're under, the pressure that you're under, what it's like to, I'm 5'2". My brothers eat a lot of food. Okay. And not just the food like that they give them. There's, my younger brother's 6'4". He eats a lot of food. So, and we've heard a lot of athletes talk about, some of the struggles that they went through in college while they're even at these big universities because of the rules that were in place. And then obviously that turns to, some corruption, because you got to feed yourself, literally.
Right.
So I think it was inevitable, one, because of social media, and two, because it was just an outdated system. There's no reason why kids who are bringing in billions of dollars into a sport are not allowed to capitalize on their name and image in just simple ways as an autograph or, posting something on their social media. And now some of these student athletes are coming to their schools with hundreds of thousands of followers before they ever set foot on these campuses, with more followers than the campus, or the school pages have. So, how do you tell someone who's earned that following before they ever set foot on your campus, you can't capitalize on it? So I know there's a bit of a hesitation. There's obviously the conversation of, well, these kids are going to be making all this money. Are they going to be paying taxes? Do they know how to handle it? I look at it as, this is now reality. So what do we do? Well, now we have an opportunity to teach young people about financial literacy at a much younger age, where they now can understand, because they have the money to say, oh, I have this, $10,000. What do I do with it? Well, I want to buy a bag. Okay, well, you can buy that bag if you want to, but you've got to pay taxes on that money that you made first. You need to put it in a bank account. If you don't want to spend it on that, where do you put it? Do you need a savings account? All these little things. And, and now, the bigger athletes who are getting these huge endorsement deals that they would get if they were pros, even more reason to let them know, like, you need to invest this, and this is where this is where you put it. Where if you're just talking to kids, I mean, we all went through this. I certainly did. I still don't understand the stock market. What is it? I don't know. Where's the money? Okay, I take some money, invest it. I don't know where it's going, because I wasn't taught it. I was, it's taught in the abstract, but until you have the money in your hands to know this is where it's going, and this is what's coming back to me, and this is where I can move it, and this is what I owe, and all those things, it's really just an abstract thought. Well, now you have young people who have the money, who are making the money at a younger age, and they can learn about what to do with it, and they can maybe make some mistakes as well, which will help them when they get to the pros and they're making even more money. So I look at it as a positive thing, mostly because it was inevitable. So rather than panicking about it or looking at it as, they shouldn't make this money, there's 20-year-old hackers taking down Facebook yesterday, or whoever it was. Just any one of these kids who are so young making all kinds of money just because they're student athletes, they aren't capable of making money. It's silly. So I think it's a positive thing.
Yes,
I do too.
Tell the truth, the whole truth, and
nothing but the truth. I agree, Joy. I agree. And a lot of these kids, sometimes they have, like my son, they had like 6 different cafeterias. They had plenty to eat. But it's not even just about eating. It was like buying deodorant, getting your hair cut, taking your girlfriend to the movies. Like, these kids need extra money. They need extra money.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I agree 100%.
They're really grown now.
You
want them to be independent, right?
Right.
Yes.
Listen, mama, listen. Funny. No. But no, yes, whoever against that.
No, I mean it's the idea that they're receiving a free education, but I mean, I can speak to it because I just mentioned it. Like, I was a college athlete, and it was too much for me. I was like, I have to get all my classes have to be at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have no flexibility. I have winter track and regular track season, indoor track season. You got to be on a bus for 3 hours to get to the meet. You get a little sandwich on the way there. Like, this is a lot. It's a huge commitment on top of school, which is what you're getting for free. But all the other students that are getting this education that they're quote unquote paying for are not having to also have a whole other job, which is sports. Now, listen, it was obviously a privilege to be able to be in that situation, but for me and for I'm sure a lot of student athletes, it's a huge burden. So, not burden, but it's a huge challenge, is what I should say, not burden. So, yeah, I mean, anyone who is against young people making money off of a platform that they've earned through their very hard work,
right?
I would just love to know what their mentality on that is, because it certainly can't be that you shouldn't be able to make money at a certain age.
Right. So I think this is the beginning of entrepreneurs. I mean, we're going to have entrepreneurs everywhere because everybody has a T-shirt now that they're selling. And, most of the time, these kids in college, whether they need extra money for books, food, or whatever, they can utilize that because sometimes their parents are not able to afford to give them what it is they need. And so now they can do that with their likeness. And so I'm for it.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Parents should be for it anyway.
Yeah.
They can take care of their own self. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell us how it was with being on Skip and Shannon.
Yeah.
Now them two.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Skip and Shannon was a really fun experience. Undisputed, we launched it together. So when Skip and Shannon actually first came to the network, it was the three of us starting that show and, building the audience and getting Skip established on a new network and Shannon on a debate show, which he had never done before. So we kind of all grew up on that show together at the network, and none of us had worked together before. And it was a really great experience. Skip has been really wonderful to me. He was always super respectful and accommodating and patient with me, being a young broadcaster in that very intense space. And Shannon is such an easy person to work with. He's just has a great spirit and energy with everyone in the building, and just comes in at 6 o'clock in the morning and is just ready to go. At the top of the energy scale, which is what you need for a show like that. So it was a great experience, and we got to travel a lot. We went to a lot of really cool places. We went to the NBA Finals in Cleveland and the NBA Finals in the Bay, and Mayweather McGregor fight in New York, U.S. Open, Super Bowl. So we got to do the show from a lot of places, which was cool for me because people have this idea that everyone hates Skip and they don't agree with Shannon about LeBron. And, when we would do these shows on the road, we would always do meet and greets. Obviously, it's pre-COVID. We would do meet and greets with, the crowd or whoever would come out to watch the show after the show was over. And everyone is it's all love. Like, everyone is just happy, and it's sports. We debate. We probably would sit here and talk and have differing opinions on different topics. We're not all agree on anything, and we'd have our debate, but at the end of the day, we're just going to go back to what we had to do tonight and not be salty about it. Cause that's what we do. We argue about sports, in our own healthy way. We're like one big sports family, families argue, and then we got to let it go cause we have stuff to do. So that's kind of how it is. And it was really good to see that in real life, because everybody, I think on the internet, everyone thinks that things are a certain way and they're really not. So it was great. It was a great experience for me. It was an interesting lifestyle change. I had to be up at 3:20 in the morning every day to do that show. So,
wow.
So that was different, but it actually taught me a lot about routine and, managing my time and energy better. So I would do kind of a Steve Jobs sort of process before work and, get the same thing for breakfast every day and have the same time routine, park in the same spot, not worry about what I'm wearing to work, just throw some sweatpants on and go, lay them out the night before, just be very routine with it so that I could save all my energy for the show. And I still do that today. So I learned a lot of good professional habits from being on the show with them as well.
Discipline, it sounds like. Did you ever feel like you were the referee kind of in the middle?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what the job is. It's the interesting part of the show that I think people wouldn't know unless they worked on the show or had been around the show is that there's no animosity between the two of them once the segment's over. So we do say, like, we do the A block and say it's, the Cowboys won. So, Skip's gonna be going crazy and Shannon's gonna do his thing. And then they go. All right, guys, we got to go to break. Coming up next, LeBron and the Lakers. Do they win in Brooklyn tomorrow night? We'll find out next, right? So they're ending. They're like, "Rah." We got to break. That's it. Skip goes off to go get his notes for the next block. Shannon's with his producer. I'm doing my thing with my notes. And then and then we just, gear up and do it again. So there's no like real anger. The arguments are real and they're actually arguing.
Right.
But once it's over, there's not any like personal jabs. You know what I mean? So there's not any animosity like that once the conversation's over, I should say. But they really believe what they're saying too, which is another misconception that everyone has. Like everyone's like, Shannon doesn't really believe that, right? About LeBron. And like Skip doesn't really like care that much about the Cowboys. I'm like, no, they do. Like they really believe that. Because the show is produced in a way that it's genuine. Like they can't go in a room in the meeting in the morning and be like, we have to do this topic. Okay, how do you feel about it? Well, I agree. I agree too. But I'm going to pretend like I don't agree. Well, that doesn't work because if you really don't believe it, when you get on TV, eventually you're just going to be like, yeah, you're right. Like, I don't know. I don't really care that much. You have to really believe it, like, or you can't do it. And sometimes they'll do topics on the show where they don't actually debate anything, but it's just a topic that needs to be done. We would do Colin Kaepernick a lot, obviously, when all the stuff was happening when he was kneeling. Well, there's nothing to debate there, but we are going to have to talk about it because the whole world is talking about this. So, every part of the show isn't necessarily debate in so much as it's discussion as well. But they really do believe passionately about what they're talking about.
Girl, you got it going on. You holding it down for us ladies. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So wait, you have a new show. Tell us about it, girl.
You're making me want some Twizzlers. Yes, it started 3 weeks ago now on Fox Sports Radio on Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. So it is the Joy Taylor Show. It's just me, which is exciting. And obviously the national network, which is exciting as well. And I've been working a long time to get the opportunity to host a show, solo show. And I love radio. Obviously, that's where I started. So it's been fun.
So how can people see the show or hear the show?
So it's on Fox Sports Radio. So if you can get on the iHeartRadio app if you don't have the affiliates in your area. And I believe I don't know what the Sirius XM station is, but it would be the Fox Sports Radio Sirius station. But if you go to foxsportsradio.com, it'll be streaming there and you can listen there anytime.
So are you inviting people on the show?
I am. Last week I had Mark Sanchez, Josina Anderson, and Amina Jade, who's at NBC Boston. Last week I had Jen Welter and Ryan Rosillo, and oh my God, it's slipping me now. I can't remember the last guest last week, but yes, MJ Acosta, my brother, Nick Wright. So I've had a bunch of people on, and I'll always, of course, have ladies on every weekend as well. So
awesome.
That takes me to our next question, Joy. What's your take on today's gender and race equality in sports media? Where do you see it going? What's your take on that?
Well, I think we've obviously made some progress. And I think it's important to acknowledge when we do make progress and celebrate that and celebrate the people who have accomplished that and are in those spaces. But I do think we have a long way to go. And in some ways it's a little inside baseball, you know, it's the things that we see in the business behind the scenes, the crew, the executives, the, you know, high level producers. There needs to be diversity there as well, because even though talent is important and obviously representation is tremendously important because that's what you see as the audience. So seeing women, seeing Black women, seeing diverse men and diverse sets of people is important from different places, and they are the mouthpieces. So, you know, you're getting their experiences and their experiences reflect your experiences. So as we know how important that is. But what is also important is that the executives, the people that hire people, the people that pay people, the people that encourage and help, you know, develop the stories, the producers, the, you know, digital producers, the documentarians, those people, that needs to be diverse as well, because what people don't see a lot of times is because just the talent, you know, we have our voices and we're able to use our voices, and I'm very out, obviously I say what I say, so I think a lot of people know where I stand on a lot of issues, but you know, it's the media and it's television, it's entertainment, and we know this when we watch movies. You'll see a movie and you can tell who made this movie and who wrote this movie based off of what you're seeing and watching. Like, that is not how it is. That is not correct.
Right.
That ain't it. So, you know, you have to have people of diversity in the rooms when these stories are being written, when these stories are being told, because we're telling history. And if you're telling history from one set of eyes, that's what people are going to remember. And, you know, through a daily basis, that's where I think the diversity is equally as important as what's on air. And of course, when you're talking about equal pay, when you're talking about who's getting these opportunities, we know that people tend to hire people that look like them and come from the same place that they come from, that they can relate to. And many times they also feel like those people deserve to be paid and other people don't. So, you know, I think diversity is very important, not just for what you're seeing and hearing on the talent side, which is very important, but the behind the scenes is equally as important. So to answer your question, I do think we have seen a lot of progress, but I want to emphasize that behind the scenes is as important as the talent being diverse.
Good answer. Good answer.
All right. We know that you are a very busy lady. And we again thank you for coming on the show to sit down and talk to us sports moms, of sharing our stories of raising up a student athlete. We really, really appreciate it. And we will be tuning in to iHeart Radio so we can hear your segment. And so thanks again. Tell everybody how they can find you, contact you, or get in touch with you.
Well, thank you again so much for having me. It was very kind of you to accommodate me time-wise as well. I really appreciate that. And it was great to talk to sports moms. I miss my sports mom. I talked to her earlier today. She's with my nephew, her grandson, who's screaming in the background. She's like, I'm busy. I'm like, I'm not going to talk to you. I called you 3 times today. She's like, you hear this child? So, you know, he's starting to, you know, he's transitioning. He's 2 months, so he's starting to get loud and rowdy now. But he's a big boy. But so thank you so much for having me on. You can watch the show. I'm on weekdays with Colin on the Herd from noon to 3 Eastern on FS1. And also Thursday Night Football starts this week on Amazon Prime, on Prime Video. So if you watch Thursday Night Football on Prime Video, you can listen to me, Bucky Brooks, and Daniel Jeremiah on Scouts feed, and also on twitch.tv/move the sticks. And then Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports Radio. You can listen on the iHeartMedia app or on foxsportsradio.com for the Joy Taylor Show. And follow me on social media at Joy Taylor Talks.
Very busy lady.
Thank you so much. We know how busy you are. We really appreciate you
Yeah.
just setting aside a little time for us to just get some wisdom.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. It was really kind. And I'm gonna go get some Twizzlers too.
Yeah, right? We should have had Twizzlers for everybody, Karen. I love me some
And you know what?
Twizzlers.
I just had COVID, so I can't even taste it. So it's just like eating plastic. My phone ring. All right, you guys. All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy.
Wow.
Wow,
That was amazing.
that was amazing. You know, we had an Amber Alert. Everybody's phone was going
I
off.
know. I was like, what is this?
Me too. I'm like, what is going on? Oh, okay. Ooh, that was wonderful. I really appreciate her taking the time to come on the show with us.
She's amazing.
She is. She's very, very busy. It don't look like she as far as time for herself, she is working it.
I know
In
all of
every-
those shows that she mentioned. I was like, wow, girl.
Hey,
Wow.
mean girl.
Amen, girl.
What's
Hey,
going
mean girl,
on?
Hockey.
Listen,
Mean girl, Hockey, you have to come on the show. We're going to see your face.
listen,
You have to
guys,
send us an email.
yes, please share, like, share, tag. Listen, it's
Yes.
going live.
Okay, so you guys, on the topic of sharing, and listen, if you have a story that you want to get out there, contact us at canwetalksports@gmail.com. And also, if you want to be a sponsor, we have all kind of sponsorship levels. So contact us, canwetalksports@gmail.com.
You guys, let me get this last little chew of this Twizzler out my mouth. Because you know, once you start chewing them, you just be like chewing them and chewing them and chewing them, chewing them.
Listen, guys, Can We Talk Sports is real moms, okay? And
Yes.
Miss Karen, she has to chew.
Chew, girl.
Yes, yes. So what's been going on this week, you guys? I think we have a very interesting hot topic.
Ooh.
Listen. So the hot topic, y'all ready for the hot topic?
Mhm.
Everybody say they ready for the hot topic.
We ready.
Now, parents, listen. Let's take a deep breath. Get ready for this one. No, seriously, though. Parents and their behavior at the little leagues, right?
Mhm.
What y'all think about that? We're gonna watch this video. We got a video, right? All right.
You can play other people. We owe it to y'all can play other people. My kid out here. We owe it to y'all can play other people.
We're not doing this. I work here. We're not doing this.
You get up out of here.
Please.
You get up out of here.
I got it. Go.
You got the cameras on everything. Put the cameras on the parents.
Pop out.
Cool.
That's right. We
I'm
on your
fine.
ass because you ain't on your shit.
I'm just get up out of here.
Time out. Do your shit. Do your shit.
I'm cool.
We got this, bro. We got this. We got this. We got this.
Ain't no hole in me. Ain't no hole in me. Ain't no hole in me. But look, bro.
Hey, remember you got kids.
Hey, get these folks out of here. Get these folks out.
Oh my God.
I cannot.
She's like, we got
They're
this.
so watching
We
the
got
game. They
this.
don't stop playing. They watching the entertainment in the stands. Like,
Oh wow. Now I know we've all been little league moms before, and especially when we ain't paid our money, we want our kid to play. It's like I paid my $255. My kid should have some playing time. And if he don't have no playing time, I'm gonna be going to talk to the coach.
I told y'all.
No,
Did I
no,
tell y'all
no,
to
Karen,
take a
no.
deep breath? Because it's about to
Okay,
go.
so
I told y'all.
so how old do you guys think those kids were? The
Oh,
kids that
those
were
look like
playing.
they look like 12, 13.
Maybe
They were pretty
junior
big.
high, maybe junior high, maybe 8th grade, maybe 9th grade, but not
Mm,
too old. They weren't. I mean, they didn't look big enough to be 9th grade to me. They looked like
no, they look
junior
like
high to
6th and
me.
7th graders. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look junior high definitely.
Yeah, probably from the 5th grade to 7th grade. Yeah.
Okay,
You know what? Honestly, that is not cute. Let me see. What word can I use? That was out of line. Like seriously, like in front of those kids. I remember we talked about this before. Like seriously, she jumping around like she in a boxing match. And then coach, he talking back like, what type of a leadership? What are y'all teaching these kids? Like literally, like coach against the parent? No. I'm trying to be nice. Like, no, just go to the car. Just no. Take a deep breath. Go. Like, I don't know what, I'm just trying my best, y'all, to keep it real, but not just be ugly with it. That's not good for our kids at the end of the day. I'm sorry.
no. And after you then embarrassed the coach, got him talking all crazy, talking about he's from Michigan, like you think he's gonna put your child in now? No.
I think it's wrong on both ends, to be honest, because they
I agree.
adults. Yeah, they are adults. So it's like, who of course the kids gonna go with the parents, but then I seen the little boy go over there to the coach and like,
It's that thing of that first reaction. I think there was another video that we had watched, and it was a TikTok video of a parent that went up to defend her her coach, the coach. And so, when you first find out something something is going on with your kid, this natural anger just comes, and you become being in the moment, and it's almost like uncontrollable. I just remember, when Rodney King, what happened in California with Rodney King and doing the ride times, and just being out there with the emotion that was going on. You just get caught up in the emotions of it, and it's like you don't think about it to the next day. Man, I just did that. Where did that even come from?
You're right.
And so sometimes we just get caught up, and we have to, after being clowned and acted crazy, then we have to say, you know what?
I shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have done that.
Mhm.
And then you start to apologize, because you see the effect of it, because all the people who watched you, your kids, and how they say we are supposed to be setting an example for our kids. And sometimes we don't always do it.
So, Kawashika, I agree with you. Both, it was the fault of both, especially the coach, because first of all, parents are going to be parents. And me coming from the perspective of an official, like you can't let them get under your skin. You definitely have to ignore them. If they want to take it up with you after the game, then we'll talk after the game. But during the game, like you can't engage with them. You can't stop coaching and start arguing with the parents on the sidelines. Like that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
That's a good point. Stand in your role, stand in your place.
Yeah. And set the example for these kids.
I mean, Miss Karen, you kind of calm me down a little bit, because I got a little bump. I start bouncing around too. But no,
You was ready to fight too.
yeah, we don't know exactly what happened at the beginning, but then, like you say, when that heat come up on you, like protecting your kids or something was said, it's just like you just that emotions, like you can't hear nobody, and so it could be that. But I hate that. I hate that. It's on the world can see that, and
it's mostly us. Most
Yes.
of the time.
And they're posting it everywhere. Like,
I don't really think so. They just get away with it.
Well,
well,
we just don't see the other ones, huh? Because
yeah, it's
we good to
happening.
bring out our phones.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just pay attention. Try to avoid conflict, especially at the games. Man, I told y'all it when I was at them games. I just be so focused on them kids and cheering and hollering and screaming, and I just don't understand. Like I be in my own world, and then I be trying to help it. Come on, y'all. Come on, we gotta help. The momentum need to change. So how do y'all interact and getting into it when we're supposed to be beating the other team? We're going against the other team. Now I'm getting excited and passionate because we're supposed to be beating the other team.
We fighting each other. We fighting each other instead of fighting the other team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the crowd. Let's go. We got to come on. Them kids want to see everybody cheer for them.
Yes.
Whew. And one of my pet peeves, I do this every time I go to the game. Don't know Miss Karen. I think she went to the game with me one time when we went to Colorado. Energy is big. If you want to know about energy, and I'm talking about, listen, if you sitting down and you eating popcorn and you don't really want to be there because you tired, I gotta move away from you. I'm gonna know where some excitement is at, because I'm telling you, the kids feed off our excitement and our momentum. Listen, you think they can't hear you, they can hear you. Listen, and we got enough people saying, go defense, go defense, go defense. See, I'm getting excited. I move real quick. I'm telling you, I don't mean no harm. You sitting up there and you look like you tired. You looking at me crazy because I'm cheering for the kids. Hey, I'm about to go. I'm about to go. And I'm going to go hang with them kids, the ones that, hey! And that's how it's supposed to be at them games. You will learn a lot about games,
Yes.
Yeah.
Stuff. So when it comes to that type of mess, when they getting into it, I don't understand that. Like, how do that happen if you're focusing on the kids in the game and who win it? I want to win. They want to win.
That's good.
Take a deep breath.
That's good. That's good. Focusing on making sure the kids have the best experience that they're going to have while they're out there playing for that hour, whatever that hour is, and being able to be encouraging them and cheering them on.
Yeah.
And helping them grow to be better people, not teaching them how to act a fool.
Right.
And then you go outside one day, little John out there fighting. You talking about, what's going on? Do you remember what you did in front of John? Okay.
All right. So let's, I'm sure that Big Mama got something to say. So let's get ready to see what this wisdom got to say with Big Mama.
Baby, let me tell you. Hey, ladies.
Hey, Big Mama. Aretha.
Look at you. Shake it.
Play with me.
Listen, don't play with us. Come on.
Listen, ladies, let me tell you. Goodness. I'm with, I want to say one thing to Joy. Big Mama ain't got no love from them Cowboys. And that's real talk, baby. I don't pretend. That's real talk right there. So who that? I had to wear something blue. So I found these glasses and I was like, well, let me put them on. I know the boys won, so
Big mama.
salute to the boys. So Big Mama got a few things tonight. I'm not gonna take up a lot of time, but I want to get started real quick. The first thing I have is everybody has seen this video of Urban Myers. I didn't want to play it here tonight. It might not be age appropriate. Well, anyway, Urban Myers is the Jaguars coach, and he lost to the Cincinnati Bengals last week. And he stayed on in Ohio and got his party on. Well, it shows the video of him with this young girl twerking on him, right? So he dancing back, she twerking, oh, they having a good time. So Twitter, this video just goes viral. It's everywhere. So I didn't want to show it, but shout out to Herb. He was out having him a good time. Well, I want you to know that his wife, Shelly said, I was at home keeping the children. She calls him Buddy. That's his nickname. She calls him. She said, Shelly said, Buddy was having a good time. And that's all that matters to me is that Buddy was enjoying himself. As a matter of fact, her words said he deserved it. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Shelly don't live at every house. So y'all be careful out there because everybody don't have a Shelly. Somebody got a Sheila and it ain't going to be nice. So watch yourself. Be careful out there. But Herb, boy, I saw you. You was getting it, baby. Another little short thing. Coach called Darrell. Now, Coach, yeah, I know USC came into your city and spanked you. And I know your emotions ran a little high. But you can't be pushing the camera, people. Leave the people alone. They just doing their job. Now, what's going to happen, Coach? They going to forget about Herb, but they'll be bringing your situation up all the time. They're going to want to take you to, they're going to want to do a whole lot. So just be mindful of how you walk, how you step, what's going on. You got to protect you. It ain't many coaches doing what you're doing, men of, men. You know what I'm saying. So be easy, bro. I know that you was a little hot under the collar. USC did do their thing. They did do it, Coach. But you can't be pushing the camera, people. Let the people do their job. All right, now, I had to get those two things off my chest. Didn't want to put no pictures up of them. Didn't want to really cause no attention. But you thought Big Mama wasn't going to mention it? Oh, yeah, Big Mama going to mention it. But so now, let's get into my little things that I have for tonight. Edgerrin James Jr. So Edgerrin James Jr., look at him. Edgerrin James Jr., he's the son of NFL Hall of Famer Edgerrin James Sr. This baby, now Edgerrin James Sr. went to the Miami Hurricanes. Then he went on to play for the Colts and I think Seattle, I believe. However, this baby, they call him Edge. So Edge James is a senior, getting ready to go to college. He has committed to Howard. So he's going to be a Bison come the fall of the year. So shout out to the HBCUs that are, and Coach Deion Sanders is really a part of that big movement of giving that exposure. And these young men are saying, I want to be here. Your dad played for the Miami Hurricanes. You could have gone anywhere. You could have played for any big school, but you chose to come to Howard, chose to be at the HBCU. Shout out to you, Edge. Do your thing come the fall and praying great, great, great triumphs for you. My second thing, Tom and Bill. Baby, this love story right here, I tell you, Tom and Bill got some secrets, baby, that make the devil bow his head and say, "Oh my goodness!" But Tom and Jerry, they have a love like no other. Joy even mentioned them. Well, you showed a clip of where Joy was talking about them. When it's all said and done, I'm sure somebody is gonna write a book. The pictures will be shown. We're gonna know the whole story. I don't even know if Big Mama want to know the story. I ain't ready for the real story, not of Tom and Bill. But my last thing is Bubba Wallace. Shout out to NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace, first African American to win this NASCAR feat. He is the first African American since 1963, which was Wendell Scott, won in 1963. But Wendell, because of all of the oppression, the racial divide, what have you, he wasn't able to have the victory lane win. He wasn't able to celebrate on the, there in the midst of everything. He won, but it was just so tucked away. But proudly, openly, Bubba won the NASCAR, and I was so excited for him. He teared up. It was a very emotional thing, but we are still coming into our own. We are still making our way. We are making a statement. Hey, we are here, and you're going to notice us. It doesn't matter what sport you come up with, we can be viable contenders in whatever you have. So shout out to Bubba and his accomplishment of winning NASCAR on this past weekend. One last thing Big Mama wants to give just to you parents out there. I want you to understand that discipline is essential. And that is discipline with yourself. That is discipline with your children. Discipline is doing it no matter how emotional you are. Emotions will rise. Like Kawashka mentioned, when I'm at the game, I get up, you're rooting for your team, you get all hyped up. Emotions do get flared, but discipline, it is so essential to a young person's life. So parents, you sports parents out there, teach that discipline. But more importantly, you have to show that as well. Because my grandmama used to say, I can't hear you for seeing you. That's all Big Mama got tonight. All right, ladies, back to you.
Yay, Big Mama.
Yay, Big Mama.
Yes, I'm excited for Bubba Wallace too, you guys. I've been following him for about a year. I'm on his Facebook feed. I get Facebook notifications. I'm so proud of that young man.
Well, I reached out to our producer, and I was like, we want him. We want him. There's an email for him. So we're going to be reaching out to him and say, come on over here and
Let's
be
go,
interviewed by
Bubba.
us. So let's go, Bubba. That is great. And, there's so many different sports things out there that I can't even imagine, coming from Arkansas, that we are starting to be a part of and making our name known, because it's no longer considered a segregated or a particular race of people who did it. We are all being able to take a part in these different type of sports. And so I'm just excited to be able to bring this knowledge, this information on the show for other parents to see that there's other sports than basketball, football, baseball, soccer. There's other sports out there that we can do and
Yes.
make money
And
if we choose to make money.
Excel at it. Yeah, absolutely. Given the opportunity.
Golf, ladies. Let's try golf.
You want to have golf? I think the PGA is coming to Texas. One of the guests that we had on the show, and they may be looking at starting programs. There's programs out there for kids to be able to play for free and stuff like that. I might have to reach back to Mr. Lewis and see if Can We Talk Sports can be a part of that connection of building that golf program here in Texas when it comes. So see, there is so much work that us parents that we could do to continue to bring in awareness of sports and how to, play sports, do sports, be sport, all those different things.
Yeah, that's something. I think golf is something that's very different for me. I remember my grandfather, he was playing, before he left, and he told me, he was like, you need to start playing golf. I'm like, Granddaddy, I didn't play no golf. But now, yeah, it's something you learn. Like every sport, I believe, is something that you learn. Rather it's discipline. Discipline like Big Mama was saying, or Nation. It's something you learn from sports, so
Mm-hmm.
do golf.
Absolutely.
Sports moms and
Yes. So this week, parent tip. Well, I know here in DeSoto we have homecoming this week,
really?
and so we got the parade going on, and going to the boys, doing the boys' locker rooms, putting them some little treats, and celebrating people coming home, and it's just a beautiful time. The weather is great here in Texas, and so it's just a beautiful time for just a peace, and maybe it's a peace because I'm just at home, but it's just like a peace that's going on right now. And so just lifting up every parent out there who kids play sports. Continue to cover your kids, continue to make decisions that's going to protect your kids during this COVID. Just continue to rock, parents.
Yeah, absolutely. And Karen, I like the covering your kids, like pray over your kids and cover your kids because there's been shootings at some of these football games. And so, just be aware of your kids and where they are and just cover them and make sure that they're safe because it can happen anywhere to any of our kids. So, yeah, just keep them covered, keep them prayed over.
I totally agree. Like that's it. Prayer. Uh,
Come on, girl. Come on.
Parents, check on your kids with these coaches. That goes from, and I know we just got through looking at this, but let me go to the next side because it is a bad side.
Mm-hmm.
Check on them for as little lead. Check on them if they're in middle school. Check on them if they're in high school. Check on them if they're in junior college. Check on them if they're in a university or D2.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them questions about how they're being treated. Yeah. Ask them questions, please. Ask them questions, how they being treated, how they being talked to, because at the end of the day, it's all about respect. Okay, it's one thing you teaching them to be strong and do what they need to do and work hard, but it's another thing when you sitting here nitpicking and picking. So I don't know who this for, but trust me, ask your kids how they're being treated by these coaches. And I said what I said.
And
That's a good word.
A good word. Especially not being fearful to be able to speak and let the parents know what's going on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And stand up for themselves.
Yes. Yes.
Time to speak up. Don't be scared. Ask them.
Yes.
Who gonna see this? Ask them.
Yes. How they're doing.
Because when God give me something, when he reveals something to me, I gotta see it. And this is the platform to see it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All right, ladies. Hey, you
somebody
guys.
needed that.
Yes.
Kawasha, because somebody needed that today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. That's good. So you guys don't forget to like, share, comment, tell somebody about this page. Can We Talk Sports? We're sports moms. And if you have a journey, if you have a story to share, if you want to be interviewed, just reach out to us at canwetalksports@gmail.com. Canwetalksports@gmail.com. Send us an email. You're more than welcome to come and just chat with us. tell us what's going on. Let's have some fun. And so we just appreciate you guys. We could not do it without you guys. So thank you so much.
Bye-bye,
Oh,
you guys.
Bye-bye.
You guys.
Bye.